Hey everyone, this is not the type of video that I thought it would be making this week, and I'm just realizing I slur some of my words because I am a Midwesterner and we do that sometimes. This is not the type of video that I would not anticipate making this week, but it is also one that I feel like I need to talk about. So if you are knowledgeable of the film community and the film critic community specifically, you will probably know by now that the press has come out about this. Hollywood Reporter has come out with this. Many other major news outlets as well. Earlier today, Harvey Weinstein, my stupid hair, Harvey Weinstein admitted to more or less admitted to sexually assaulting various women who have worked with him over the years. Or I guess the more accurate statement was he did not directly deny it. And this is an important thing to come forward with, especially in the wake of all of the things that are being said about women in film, particularly in the past few years, and how terrible they're treated both in front of and behind the camera. And he is taking a leave of absence, and I'm going to look at the list of films that his company is distributing this year. It's very well known that he is an Oscar bait type of person. He heavily campaigns. A lot of independent films flock to him in order to get promotion, basically. And as much as good as I hear some of these films are going to be, and as good as some of them will be, for sure, I cannot, in good conscience, give his company money. I can't. The other person who has now been, I'm not going to say accused of, because saying that someone is accused of something implies that there is any doubt that it actually happened. He did. It came out that founder of Screen Junkies and creator of Honest Trailers, Screen Junkies show, movie fights, blah blah blah, Andy Signore harassed several women who worked for Screen Junkies. Now, full disclosure, I used to be actually a pretty big fan of Screen Junkies. The first year and a half of Honest Trailers I thought were pretty good. Up until today, I was still subscribed. I used to watch movie fights religiously, and that was kind of my thing, because I am a person that likes to have debates about movies and discuss movies, and a lot of these questions I would come up with my own answers to. And there was at one point where I was looking for jobs/internships to do. And I thought, well, here's a company, here's a channel that I like watching that seems like the type of company that would want interns. Maybe I'll apply for them. I didn't. And now I know today I had a very, very good reason not to. It's a bit haunting because the things that have come out about what Andy Signore has done, literal screen grabs of conversations that he's had with other women. This one of these women, April, JT's girlfriend, he threatened to fire JT if she said anything. I can't support that. And Screen Junkies has, especially within the last couple of years, I quit watching movie fights because it just basically became grown men yelling at each other. Grown man children yelling at each other. And that's the other thing. Screen Junkies always felt like a boys' club. They barely ever had women on. Even if you watched the Oscars live stream this past year, you will note that the room was 2/3 men, and there were maybe 3 women there, Sasha, and Roth, and I think one other person, or Roxy was there too. But this hurts. It hurts because of the women who did end up working there. It hurts because I wonder what would have happened if I did end up working there, and if I would have been a victim. And that it's scary to think about. And if it's scary for me to think about right now, and it gives me like huge uncomfortableness, I can't imagine what the women that he actually harassed feel like. I'm fortunate enough in that I've never been sexually harassed, and I hope that I'll never be put in that position. And it makes me scared, honestly, because I'm a woman who wants to go into film. Side note, it is a little bit weird for me to talk about myself as a woman. In many ways, I still feel like a girl, but that's becoming less and less and less of a feeling. Especially now that I've moved. I've moved, by the way. Don't know if you can tell. But it's scary to, as a woman who wants to go into film, and particularly into work behind the scenes, because I don't want to have to go into a job where I'm constantly worried that guys will be checking me out, or that my boss would just send lewd messages to me. Like, that's scary. And it's not going to deter me from doing what I love and wanting to be a director and writer. That ain't gonna deter me. I guess one of the bright spots today has been, for me, honestly, been Alicia Malone. And I've talked about her before, but she's one of the most prominent female film critics. I mentioned her in my recent book episode, her book Backwards and in Heels, which is a very, very feminist film history of women. And I honestly turned to her to see what she was saying. And she, full disclosure, has worked for Screen Junkies in the past, but obviously is not anymore. But I kind of turned to her because I was like, well, what can we do? Because I'm kind of a film person / film critic who would love to be able to do these things. And she's been thinking of ways to come up with safe spaces for film critics. Because there really isn't one, like a Facebook group or a weekly newsletter or things like that. And I highly suggest following her on Twitter or on all of her social media, because I really think that something like that is going to come to fruition. And if you're a female film critic like I am, then it's something that I think I would want to be a part of. So again, follow her on her social media. That's I guess one of the few positives that have come out for today. I don't know really what else to say other than I'm so sorry for all of the women that have had to endure crap like what men like Mr. Weinstein and Andy Signore have dealt on them. Just scummy human beings to do people like that. Or to do to people like that. It's just, I can't imagine what's going through someone's brain. So, I guess what I want to get across here is that women, we've got work to do. And we need to be able to support each other. And lastly, I do want to say shout out to the men who have been standing behind the victims today. It's been extremely helpful to have your voice of reason. in particular Chris Stuckman and JT, who is the for standing by his girlfriend. I hope that this makes you less afraid of your job. I hope that you are able to get good work, even if it's not at Screen Junkies. I don't really know what to think. It feels like betrayal. But at the same time, and this is kind of sad, I'm not surprised. I want to get to the point where women are treated so respectfully in film, behind the scenes, in front of the camera, behind the writing desk of the film critics. I want to get to the point where the degradation of these women is so rare, like at a 0.5%, that when that 0.5% does happen, people are shocked. I want to get to the point where women are respected because they're human beings. Really, no matter what the profession. So, this is obviously going up on my second channel. I'm not going to promote anything today. If you want to follow me on whatever, by all means, that's fine. I don't. But this is not about me going for attention. This is more or less my thoughts. And I hope it gets better. But we have to work to make it better. So let's get to work. Remember to keep living awesome lives. I love all of you. And I'll see you soon. Bye.